Jonathan with Iron Mind Hypnosis here. I think one of the very common problems that people have in communicating is not listening, frankly. Now, that's a thing that gets said a lot. And there are various techniques that people use to recommend how to remedy. Rules of thumb, you've got two ears and one mouth, listen in that proportion. A lot of people recommend a much higher proportion of listening than even that. Some people recommend that, especially if you're trying to learn what's going on or be of help to somebody, you should only speak as much as as the minimum to provoke more answers, provoke more listening, right? But here's the thing. I think a lot of times where people have difficulty with communication is they're afraid where the conversation's going. They don't really want the conversation to go to an area that might be uncomfortable, dark in some way, where the material might be contentious or where there might be a disagreement. And so they try to steer the conversation away from dark or negative or whatever the metaphor is for uncomfortable material. And that's one way. And another way that I think a lot of conversations don't reach their full potential is when people think they know what people are talking about. Now, there's lots of ways, lots of reasons to go, yep, got it, I understand. I can, if it's a transactional sort of thing, I can get you the third thing on the shelf and I will get that to you by this time, no problem. I will do this thing right away. I'll give them a call and I'll ask about that. There are lots of things where delving deeply into what it is somebody wants and why they want it doesn't pay a lot of dividends. Actually doing the thing is the thing that needs to happen. And a lot of times people believe that they know what people are talking about because we all use the same words. We're basically all speaking the same language, or so we think. And in truth, each individual one of us speaks a completely different English language than anyone else. Even if I had 1,000 people here, 1,000 people even who had gone to the same school, grown up in the same neighborhood, were very similar in socioeconomics, maybe had the same faith and same politics, each one of them will subtly have a different language. And when it comes to a specific topic, those differences can be quite big, quite graphic. Somebody may have negative or highly emotional triggers around a specific word that nobody else in 1,000 people has. Negative associations or positive associations that may be unique to them, possibly unique to them in all the world. Now, most people are very similar in many ways. Most people living similarly are similar in many ways. And what works for one will work for many, many more. And it's easy to think just because things are similar, that there aren't important differences worth listening for, worth asking about. And it's important to ask in a way that whatever the answer is the answer is more important. Getting that answer is more important than what the answer might be. Somebody gives you their truth, is more important than whether that truth matches yours or some value available from a librarian or Google. Um, because for many of us, our subjective reality is kind of the reality we get to work with, and whatever's in the books or a calculator might give us, well, we're working with what we got. That's our starting point. And yeah, it's those are just two quick tips. Is don't be afraid of the conversation going places you don't want it to go, which means you've got to build up a lot of trust that this conversation can be held safely. And that might mean backing off, backing off with love. Hey, this looks like this is getting a little heavier than maybe you or I are ready for. And I want to let you know that that's okay. And I completely respect where this was going. I don't think that we're in a place where I can best treat that well. And don't talk over people. Don't think we know what people mean when they say things unless we ask them. What does that mean to you? Tell me more about that. And what is that like? Give me a metaphor. Anyway, I hope that inspires you to ask a little closer of the people in your life so that you can have greater understanding and maybe they can even understand you better. Have a wonderful day. Take care.